Join me in my seminar, Investing in Foreclosures. I will teach you how to fix, how to buy, how to lease, and how to sell any foreclosed properties in the Philippines. Kahit apari man yan o hanggang Zamboanga, makakahanap tayo ng property na ma-invest nyo as a foreclosed investor.
Hello, QCRB. Hello, Quezon City. Hello, Filipinas. And hello, world. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. This is your moderator for today, Broker Vicky Alcira, one of your moderators, actually. Welcome to another episode today, May 12, Tuesday of our fourth weekly online MLS via Zoom, which is one of the board's moves in trying to adapt to the new normal, as they say. For our session for today, we will be zooming in on one area of real estate, and that is investing in foreclosures. Okay, this topic focus would be a refresher of sorts for those who have been in the industry for so long, and also a very welcome first for newbies. Now, there are real estate authors and there are real estate lecturers. And then there is Sir Noli Alleje. Sir Noli, known in the real estate industry as El Subastahero, heads the Property Forum Philippines and is the #1 auctioneer in the country today. He also produced the first real estate TV show in the Philippines in the early 90s. El Subastahero is bannered as the king of foreclosures for his passionate focus on distressed properties and foreclosures. For years, Sir Noli has acquired all sorts of real estate, from raw land and housing lots to buildings and even an island. Wow. He has done every kind of real estate strategy, including holding, fixing, leasing, and flipping. These last few years, Sir Noli has been giving back by way of sharing his experiences to brokers and the general public. He has conducted his seminars all over the Philippines, Singapore, Brunei, Hong Kong, USA, Canada, Qatar, UAE, and many more countries. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me give to you El Subastahero, Mr. Noli Alleje.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. Let's see if I can, okay, I cannot screen share. Okay.
Try it now, sir.
Here. Okay. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay,
Yes.
so this seminar basically is how to invest in foreclosures. It's a clip of my longest running foreclosure seminar. So the foreclosure seminar is a 1 hour, 2 hour, and another 4 hour. So I cut it quite short just to be able to give everybody an overview. And I know that every time I talk to brokers, I have more questions than I have presentation. So I'll make my presentation short so we can open the table for a lot of questions. I've always told brokers, you have to stop selling. You know the industry very well. No? So why only settle for 5% of your fees? All of us always benta ng benta, commission ng commission, always the 5% or sometimes even 3% pag medyo mataas ang value. No? So why don't we go for the 95%? How do we do the 95% portion? We start investing. No? So you stop selling and you start investing. And then you become now the owner that looks for the broker. So you get your 95% and you're actually sharing to your broker the 5%. So stop selling, start investing. You know the industry, you know where to buy, you know the process of the documentation, you know your business like the back of your hand. So start investing. But, you know, a lot of people say foreclosure, oh, binila ako na, parang ordinary property yan, no? But, you know, real estate foreclosures is not for the weak of heart. There's sometimes points na nakakagulat din, no? Example, is a property that was preoccupied by the previous owner. Now, the property's been in the list for a long time. We're trying to get rid of him, but he had so many stories over 3 or 4 years. Finally, we decided to implement the writ of possession. Incidentally, when you buy a real estate property from a bank that has a former occupant inside, former owner, or an illegal occupant inside, then you have to request the bank to continue with the writ of possession process. Do not get the property out of the legal process, no? Because only the foreclosing agent can be given a writ of possession, which is so much stronger than a ejectment or a pagtanggal ng owners, no, sa labas ng property. Writ of possession is stronger. So finally, we said, okay, let's get this thing implemented. And you know that the writ of possession is issued by the judge, given to the sheriff. The sheriff goes to the house and tells whoever's inside, regardless of who it is, and tells him, I'm coming back in 5 days, and you all have to be gone from here. If not, I'm coming back on day 5, and I'm going to physically carry you out of the property. And I've seen that happen. You know, they tear down the gates, they tear down the walls, they climb over the fence, you know, just to be able to take possession of the property. So it was very nice that, you know, this property owner, somewhere along the way, decided to leave the property. The only thing that is when he left, he took the house with him. So ito yung bahay dati, no? So binitbit na pati yung bahay niya, no? So he left nicely, no? Ito yung front door ng bahay. Dito ako pumasok dati, no? Ngayon kahit dito pwede lang pumasok. He literally got his house out in 4 days. And on the 5th day, when we came back with the sheriff, everything was gone. So, do not dive into excitement until you learn how to do it. No? So it takes a lot of learning also. No? It's not like, it's like buying ukay-ukay, you know. I'm sure a lot of us have bought ukay-ukay. No? Although some of us would not admit we buy ukay-ukay. No? But when you go to an ukay-ukay store, the first thing you do is, amoy-amoy mo pa, di ba? Kung matatanggal ba yung amoy nito. Hanap-hanapin mo kung may butas ng baril o butas ng saksak. You know, kaya nabenta yung damit na yan, no? So it's like exactly like an ukay-ukay lang. That's a foreclosed property. Once loved, hated thereafter. So you have to learn the ropes. I'm Noli Alleje, El Subastahero, called in the real estate industry. I pioneered the auction sales system in the Philippines. This was way back in 2002, 2003, after banging on the doors for years, huh? Coming from the 97, 98 financial crisis, it took like 3 or 4 years before the banks got to realize that, hey, I think we have to start disposing of our foreclosed properties. Kasi for every 1 peso of foreclosed property in their books means 1 peso they cannot lend out. Now hold back ang reserve nila. In 2002, by that time, a lot of the banks had very high foreclosed properties in relation to their deposits. There was one bank that was already at 50%. Ibig sabihin, 50% lang ang pwede niyang pautangin. Naka-hold lang ang ano niya. No? And then the spam came in. You know, finally, before the spam came in, one bank decided to say, yeah, Noli, come on, let's try your auction procedure. No? And we did it. You know? So we bid out over 4,000 assets all over the country. So along the way, I inspected over 25, 30,000 properties. Over the next 3 or 4 years, we sold over 8 billion worth of foreclosed properties. This is where I found my silver lining, and I've never left any more foreclosures. So somewhere along the way, you know, we noticed that everybody was making money, or everybody was getting the good deal. Kasi kami, as auctioneers, by ethics, I would not buy or invest in real estate. Until I got to realize and say, you know, sandali lang, talagang hindi niya to pwede. No? So, we started buying in bulk. So we go to the bank, even before the auctions, you know, we tell them, sige, I'll buy 50 properties from you, 25 you choose, 25 I choose. So siyempre, yung 25 nila, binabasura yun, tinatapon na lahat sa akin. Yung ibang 25, pinipili ko yung kaya ko na isa ibenta. So we bought the asset management company of GE Money Bank. GE Money Banks before that was called Keppel Bank. And if you remember Keppel Bank, before Keppel Bank was Monte de Piedad. Di ba? Si Senyor Pepe, alam niya, Monte de Piedad pa yun, no, Pepe? So that's how it was before. No? It was called Monte de Piedad. I'm a marketing guru, and I must admit, I'm a certified real estate investor. I've a little bit lowered my efforts and passion to sell real estate. I have like 3 or 4 exclusive projects, and I have like my sales team is around 10 people only or 12 people. No? And that's what I maintain only. Most of them are involved in my real estate investments. So why real estate? Alam naman natin yan, no? Wealth builder, high leverage, I don't have to tell you about that because we're all brokers here, no? But what is very striking today is this one. Time solves problems. In real estate, kahit bumili ka dyan, may problema, iwan mo lang yan. 5, 10 years, it will solve by itself. Remember, sometime 1992, 1993, when we were trying to get the Americans out of the US bases, and they said it will take us 7 years to leave. And then, boom, pumutok si Pinatubo. Remember? And we had this all over the place. In 7 days, the Americans were gone. During this period of time, what did they say? Lahat ng lupa na yan, 40, 50 years, hindi magagamit yan. Why? Because at this time, all the land was leveled. Yung mga concrete monuments na wala. Yung simbahan kung saan nakatutok, like 3 kilometers from the north, northeast, ganun, nawala din lahat yan. Values here was 50,000 pesos per hectare, and nobody was still buying. Eventually, somebody began investing, scratching the ground, and he made dolls. He made mga figurines, di ba? Of Pinatubo. Wow! People started doing that, small handicraft people. Then they used it to make hollow blocks. So there was halo sa semento pagkatapos. You could use it as sand. So there was the quarrying there. Eventually, puro naging butas dyan, umulan, nag-ipon ng tubig. Now you go to Angeles and San Fernando, ang daming fish pond. I used to see, very active ako dati sa Clark and Subic before the Pinatubo. No? And we used to see houses yun, bungalow. Simple, small bungalow. 75,000 a month rental at that time. No? After the putok na Pinatubo, wala na. 7.5 na wala pang umuupa because of the lahar. And you will see this place, this one is called Porac. The Porac area is now Ayala area. They have a big subdivision there. And I think the value is there like 12,000, 15,000 pesos per square meter already. And before they said hindi magagamit. Century Properties is there, Mega World, Phil Invest. Ang dami nang nagsisipuntahan dyan sa Norte area. No? There's even a resort there now in Porac. They call it Boracay. And that's true, no? You should check it out in Google. It's a resort. Okay. Why foreclosures? Excuse me. Due diligence. Bago nila binili ang property, no? Sa bangko, bago mo siya bibili niyan, it came from so many levels of due diligence. One was the property that was bought by the first owner. Binili niya yan, due diligence na yan. Minortgage siya, kinolateral niya. That was the most extreme due diligence. After that, na foreclose, another due diligence. Transfer to marketing department, another due diligence. So, maraming beses na dumaan yan. In all my dealings with the banks, I think we only came across 5 or 7 properties that had medyo 3 titles or 4 titles. And what's so exciting about it is the banks, obviously, they want to preserve the integrity of their process. They would actually return your money. Wala pa siguro, dati wala pa isang oras, pinalik na nila yung pera. Now, siguro they'll go a little bit on due diligence before they release your money. So this is the kind of properties that I buy for close properties. Motivated sellers. Obviously, they want to release their reserves. And that's not their business, the banks. Their business are making money on loans. not on real estate. Although some of them now have seen the eye of the brokers and the developers na rin. No? Yan, mga properties na mahilig kong bilhin. Built-up neighborhood. Ready for occupancy with repairs. I like this ready for occupancy because when you buy flat land, vacant lot, and you're going to build a house, siguro mahina ang 8 months to 9 months permit process pa lang yan. And plenty, you know? Unlike this one, pag bumili ka ng bahay ng bulok, you don't need anymore a permit to build. You only need a permit to renovate. Minsan pag nasa loob pa rin yan ng subdivision, HOA lang okay na. Hindi ka na pupunta ng munisipyo. Yan. It's value for money. If I buy a foreclosed property today at less 20, tomorrow it's full value. Kasi ayusin ko na ng konti. So, nag-value for my money right away talaga. Great investment opportunity, appraised values, you know. I've increased my wealth value just through foreclosures. The more basura, the better I like it. The more warak, the more I like it. The more magulo, the more I want to buy it. This is my buying policy. So people ask me, Noli, what kind of properties do you buy? I say, my favorite are properties like this. Basura, warak, magulo. So properties, prosperity, foreclosures is my choice. Now, all of us now should start getting ready to start investing. Maybe when the ECQ becomes GCQ and we're still scared to go out, you will see a lot of panic sellers. 2 weeks, 3 weeks yan, yung mga taong lalabas bigla, alam nila hindi na kaya, they face reality right away, they want to unload right away. You know, we come to a point of having vulturism, no? Mga vultures dyan, no? Nakabantay na kagad. So you have to watch out for this kind of properties. The next one are the distressed properties. No? Yan, yung medyo mahaba yan. Ito yung mga nasa self-denial pa lang. They're taking advantage of the law, no? The mabuhay law, na to pay the monthly amortizations over a stretched period of time, may grace period. They'll take advantage of all of that. But eventually, they'll have to face reality. Wala na silang pera, wala na silang trabaho, hindi sila nakapag-recover. I believe a lot of people will be able to recover. No? I'm sure we're going to have a V economy. We're going to bounce back right away because we've already bounced back twice or thrice in the real estate industry. So where did the billions come from? Ito yung the boom of the 90s, no? Grabe ang economy natin noong 90s, scratch paper lang, nakakabenta na tayo. People were buying 2, 3 properties at the same time. 30% down payment, 50% down payment. Yan ang mood dati. Spot cash. Patay tayo dyan kaagad. No? Commission in 7 days full. We were all awash with cash. And obviously, we were also waldas sa cash. And then came the kaboom. Nangyari yung Asian financial crisis. Everybody woke up. Dollar exchange rate was times 2. Interest rates was 32% up to 42%. So a lot of them went through rehab, went to dasyon and pago. Yung mga developer kasi dati, kasi 30%, 50% down yan, hindi sila kumukuha ng loan. So the banks began offering collateral-free loans. So eventually, they had to go through dasyon and pago. No? Slowly, the foreclosures was building up over the number of years. Pag umabot na ng 2001, 2002, up to 3 years or 4, medyo frightening level na. No? So, it will take us that long before we see the wave of foreclosures come in. If the economy builds faster, recovers faster, we will not see the wave happen. So, where are the billions today in 2019? No? Total ROPA, that's the total foreclosures, okay, is 128 billion. These are in the total banking industry. Then the universal commercial banks has around 93 billion. Ito yung medyo malalaking bangko. No? But then, wag mo small time yung thrift banks and savings banks. Because these are banks like PS Bank, Security Bank, BPI Family Bank, China Savings Bank. Malalaking banko din yan, no? This is my favorite. Buying in rural banks. Kasi rural bank, they're so conservative in their loan value. If their property, that mortgage is siguro mga 1 million, ay utang lang nila yan 400,000 lang. So very conservative sila. So more to come past due loan. Am I the only one who's gonna feel it? Am I the only one who says it's coming? No, I'm not the only one. No? I know it's coming, and so do the banks feel it. How am I saying that? Basically, starting from January, moving on to February, now March came, a lot of the banks increased their loan provision for loss. In other words, they're expecting their loss coming in. No? Marami di magbabayad, din ang feel nila. Just to give you an idea, BPI from 1.8 increased it to 4.2. Union Bank nag-multiply by 7. Ang BDO yata sa 2.8 billion ang tinabi nila. That's only for the first quarter of the year. It's gonna keep coming and coming. So yan ang mga loan provisions nila. Real Estate Universal Commercial Loan, kita mo, ang laki ng jump from 2018 to 2019. Why? Kasi ito na yung turnover. Nagka-turnover na sila ng mga loans, di ba? Bank turnover na yan. So, there are real estate loans is 2 trillion 166 billion 570 million. So you just get na lang 2.5% of that or 2% of that, which is normally the going rate today of 3%. But remember, there's going to be a big increase. So you add that to the existing 128 billion fund. So sabihin na natin 5,000. Ang 5 million ang average selling price ng mga assets. We'll see 25,600 assets coming into the market. Ganun kadami. So mga 224 ang total non-performing loans ngayon. So kanina nakita nyo 128 billion, that was only the ROPA foreclosed na yun. Ito, total non-performing, so 224 billion. This means that they have not paid, past due sila for 30 days. Maghahabol yung iba, mag-restructure yung iba, but that's what you're looking at right now that are already failing. So kung imagine after this pandemic, medyo yung 224 na yan, almost papasok yan as a foreclosure. So we'll see again another 44,821 properties. So we're going to get flooded with a lot of foreclosures also. So when you're buying real estate investments in foreclosures, isipin mo na, if I will use, I will hold, I will sell, or I will lease. You know, when you start using the property, I've always had this thought on mind, yung gypsy owner. It's a gypsy investment owner. You buy the property, siyempre, kailangan ayusin mo ng konti yan. Kasi parang ukay-ukay, no? So fix mo, tapos yan, you move into your house, you bless it, and then the next day, you put a sign for sale. Comfortable price, good margin for you. You're not pushed against the wall to sell it. Why? Because you're investing, enjoying the harvest of your investment. So eventually, someone will come, pass by your house and say, I want to buy that. You get to sell it. So you now have your next house. So you buy your next house, you fix it, you clean it, you move in, for sale again. Obviously, this doesn't happen every year, no, or every 3 or 4 months, no. You pity naman your family kasi you keep extracting them and moving them. At one point in time, you're gonna have enough property, enough money to buy 2 houses. One you live in, and one you start leasing or selling, or sell both. And you start upgrading your lifestyle. So palaki ng bahay mo, paganda ng paganda yung. This can be done 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So let me just show you some examples of how we can make money in real estate foreclosure. When you take possession of a property, there's a big markup right away. Kasi a lot of people, we very well freak out from properties without possession. No? Sinashy away yan. A lot of people say, any property except with the possession problem. Ako, marami akong trick in the books to be able to get rid of people who are actually taking possession of a property. Even former owners, no? So this is a property in Sauyo, sa may, malapit sa Quirino. We were selling it. I was not planning to buy it. I kept trying to sell it. Galing ako sa Uyo kasi, so hindi ko nakikita yung lapit niya. It's sa market here, behind. No? So one day, I was waiting for a client, ang tagal niya, naglakad ako sa likod. You know that behind the market was Quirino Avenue already. So I said, wow, ito jackpot to, you know. Except, you know, it had that much people inside, no? Yan, punong-puno yan. It had 118 people living inside, 35 families. You can see everything was occupied. Pati sa ilalim ng hagdanan may tao. So I came from here, I sat here one Sunday, and I told everybody, baba kayong lahat. Na? Kami yung bagong may-ari, ngunit hindi ka namin papaalisin ng ganyan lang. Di ba? I'm giving you 5 days. I'm gonna give you 15,000 pesos each to leave the property. After 10 days, I'll only give you 10,000 pesos per family. After 15 days, I'm only going to give you 5,000 pesos. And after that, I'm going to close this door and you have to jump up and up, down, up and down, up and down to come into the property because I'm going to put guards here. So after 3 days, sabi nung mga tao dito, tumawag sila. Alam mo, pag may squatter community yan, may mando-mando, may boss-boss dyan. So yan dapat kang kakausapin. So finally, he called me up because, Mr. Alleje, palis na kami. You tell us lang when you're gonna come over. So I went to the bundok of Antipolo, sa may mga watershed area, no? So nagkapa ako ng barangay captain. Sabi ko kay barangay, kapitan, would you like to have mga botante? Meron ako madaming botante. Sabi niya, sige, bigyan mo ng botante. So I gave all these people a tourist bus, 2 deck pa, aircon, and 1 truck to put all their abubots. And I sent them all to up in the Boso-Boso area. No? And the barangay captain gave them 100 square meters each. I was surprised when I went there. No? Don't ask me whose land he gave or where he got that land. Basta he gave it away to everybody and everybody was so happy. No? Now, what did he do with the property which was empty? No? We sold it at 6 million. Actually, hindi ako nagtapos nan kasi ako, sirani ko ako. I know how to break. I don't know how to fix. I do not know how to build. No? So you can see the property, how it came out. No? The one who bought it was a developer. He had an engineering company and he was an architecture. So he knew what to do with it. He was able to build 32 units of 20 square meters each. I could not imagine how he was able to do it. Kasi wala akong expertise dyan. So, tanda mo, pag squatter yan, pera-pera lang yan. Okay? It's only all about money. There's no emotions. Pagdating sa former owner, yan, MMK. You have iyakan, you know, dramahan and everything. No? Mas mahaba ang usapan dyan pagka former owner. I love bulok. As I mentioned, the more bulok, the more you can negotiate on the price. No? Yeah. So this kitchen, we've done around 24 houses already like this in the neighborhood. No? So this kitchen, I put it here behind. And then this window, I make it into a door. And I take the bathroom that is somewhere here, nililipat ko sa labas. So the living room, dining room is just one open area. Parang sa HGTV na nakikita nyo. No? Yan. That's the lumberjack we normally hire. I'm very hands-on in all of my real estate investments because it's not so taxing unlike if you're handling a sales force again. Pag may sales force ka, araw-araw ka nandoon, naglalatigo ka, di ba? Unlike pag real estate investment, you buy the house, you go home, you sleep. After 2 weeks, you feel ganado na. Oh, sige, kuha na contractor, basta ako ng bahay, you know? Tapos next week, punta ka uli. After 2 weeks, punta ka uli. Kasi may contractor ka. I made a mistake at the start. When I was doing this, sometimes the Filipino always likes to help other Filipinos. So I had a friend who told me, kontratista daw siya. So sabi ko, sige, bigyan mo ang coat. Maganda naman yung coat niya. Pala, he was not a contractor. Ano pala siya, commissioner. So, ginawa na, naghanap siya ng contractor, pinasa na sa contractor. So, na-commission siya. The contractor, pass it on to a subcontractor kasi malayo. So, another commission. So, eventually, may subcontractor, we can, cheating on my materials na. Yung 3/4 plywood, naging 1/4 plywood. Yung marine plywood ko, naging 1/2 ordinary plywood. So, you can see that there was a pababa ng quality. No? Now, for example, you see this kind of trash, no? Okay? This actually does not come from the property. This comes from the neighbor there at the back. Kasi pag nilinis siya yung bahay niya, tinatapon nila yung basura. So, the trash you will always see in your property will be the trash of your neighbor. So, when you take a property, you first secure it, and you make sure that you put signs, do not throw your trash here. You know? Ito yung wall na tinatanggal namin and all of this. We take all of this out. No? And there's a bathroom here behind this wall. This is also what we take out. The kitchen is somewhere there. Yeah. The more bulok, the better. But you can see that this bulok, this is basically, I would say, superficial. This is only the plywood that covers the cement ceiling, the cement ceiling of this ground floor. When you go up on the second floor, ang sahig niya, semento din. So pag tinanggal mo yan, parang wala lang, Except for a house like this, sometimes we get rid of around 5 or 6 trucks of basura. So when you're cleaning a property, the most important thing you have to think about is saan ko itatapon ang basura. Kasi once we loaded a truck of basura, it went out, we could not find it. It went around for around 4 hours. Then it went back to the property. Tinapon yung basura ulit sa driveway namin. Kasi wala sa lumahan.
Can you search it ha? Pasa ko na ha. Pasa ko sa cellphone mo ha.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay? Okay. So this is what happens at the end, no? You can see, tinanggal namin lahat yung banyo at saka yung kusina. So, the kitchen is now there behind. Kaya madilim siya. Andyan yung kusina. From here to there's the kitchen. And this window is now a door to the bathroom. So malaki ang in-improve niya. We've increased square footage tremendously. And the price also went up tremendously. Yan. So ito yung banyo na. No? And yung kitchen. Okay? Yung sahig, you know what we put lang? Yung apple vinyl tiles na mukhang kahoy. No? This is not wood. That is only the apple vinyl tiles. Pero siyempre medyo heavy duty naman para di siya tumuklap kaagad. Kakaya sa buyer. No? That's the house before. This is the house now. Konting retoke lang, okay na. No? Yeah. So we purchased the house at 1.2 M. No? In its condition, palaging bulok siya kasi. No? And we fixed it up for 400. Kung meron siyang bubong, 400 lang yan. Kung walang bubong, mga 600 ang fix-up cost. So we sold it for 3.5. Sorry, baliktad yung animation ko. So we made a profit of 1.9 on this house. And it took us like 5 or 6 months lang. 4 to 6 months actually, no? To be able to finish it. Kasi paminsan pagka sa dating sa finishing, we normally get another contractor, no? So we stop first, it's rainy season, so not do first the garden or not do first the outside. So you marry an architect or get a contractor partner. That is one of the best solutions if you get to invest in foreclosure. I buy bahay sa law. So somebody called me, actually, it's called pasa sa law or pasa buy, something like that. Just a house, pre-foreclosure, seaman, building his house, naka-in-house financing siya, he decided to go home to the province instead and to looking for a way out. No? Sabi ng developer, bigyan kita kalahati. No? So, hindi ka na magbaseda, no? Bigyan na kita kalahati. Naawa naman ako sa kanya. I mean, blood, sweat, and tears niya. So, I said, sige. 3,190,000 ang total value ng bahay, no? Okay? His equity was already 739,000. So I told the buyer, you know what? I will not pay you 739,000, but here's a post-dated check for 1 year. So I commit to pay you 739,267 in 12 months or with, well, when I sell the property, whichever comes first. So sa kanya naman, ayaw na niya mag-monthly amortization siya, no? So sasabihin ko, basta ako, tutuloy ko yung monthly amortization mo. So I made him sign all the deed of assignments and everything. At saka tinuloy ko yung monthly amortization niya. Yun. So umabot ako ng 4 months sa pagbabayad. And then we were able to sell it already on the 4th month because the house, when we started negotiating, so the picture that you saw, no, we medyo almost topping off na siya. So after 4 months, naka-top off na yan, finishing touches na. Makes the house very saleable. So we sold it for 3.8, which is quite close to the original price kasi wala pa naman gumagamit ng bahay. So it's almost really like a brand new deal. For example, you have to ice it a bit for them to get another to buy it also. So we made a profit of 624,000 on the house in 4 months' time, and our puhunan was only, oh, we paid broker's fee pa pala. No? I remember this broker's fee kasi medyo sumakit ako, ang puso ko, because I paid him broker's fee from the selling price. Dapat, I only gave him a broker's fee from the money that we actually earned. No? Kasi the double sale na yun eh. So our net profit was 452,352. Okay? So if you take the total profit minus divided by what we actually invested. So we invested with the post-dated check piece of paper and 4 months of amortization. No? So this gave us a return of 335% in 4 months. Ganun kalaki yung return namin. No? We did not have to pay his 739. So almost equity less kami dito. So leverage is king. A lot of people say cash is king. But if you can leverage at the start without the loan being an exposure to you, no? At saka mahaba period, di ba? So may 12 months ako to be able to make good on my 739,000. I was very confident that the market was there. Why? Kasi I'm a real estate broker. That area, medyo kilala ko yung supply and demand. At saka, over the backward is Blue Valley, which the houses were selling at 4.5 or 5 million. Mas maganda pa yung neighborhood namin. So, buy condo sa law. This one I saw from a broker who posted it. No? Sabi niya, equity back lang. So, I said, sige. No? So the gentleman purchased it for 293. His equity was 352. But since he actually bought it because he needed to have a surgery on his brain, sabi ko, sige na nga, bayaran ko na lang siya. Pero again, in-house financing to uli. So you'll notice, no, if I'm doing this pasabays, this saluhan, no, it always has to be in-house financing because once you do this into a bank financing, papasok yung property mo pag umabot na ng bank financing time, no? Pag-turnover na, bank financing na kailangan. Papasok ngayon yung property mo sa bank, nakalipat na yung title sa pangalan mo, nakaregister ka na sa Register of Deeds, wala ka na lusot. Magpahid ka ng tax. So, ang friction cost mo from buying and selling is there. Siguro lalabas na mga 12 or 13%. Plus, tama ka pa ng top, another 12%, di ba? So, wala, lulugi ka talaga. So, when you do pasabays or sa law, dapat in-house financing. Monthly amortization was 17,000 and we just continued paying it, Until now, I'm paying it and I'm happy with it because The value today is 3.2 na. That was, I'm sorry, that was like 6 or 7 months ago. And we're just continuing to pay it. Maganda yung lugar niya. It's, I think, walking distance to Capital Commons. So, I'm just waiting for this to be finished. So, I'm sure the rentals will be very high and very good in this area. Sorry, di ko naayos yung animation. Kala ko naayos na. So, project profit is around 983,000. On, again, if I sell it. But today, I'm sure it's even a lot higher. Now, what's the lesson here, no? Ang lesson dito is, you have to know the process, no? Kasi remember now, when you do pasabay, or you make sa law, and you get the property transferred to your name, the developer now charges you for transfer of rights. I think the last one I heard, yung isang developer, nasa 300,000, nasa 350,000. I bought this DMCI, was at 50 or 60. By the time we finished the documentation, it's already at 80. Today, I don't know anymore what the rates are. I have not checked the rates lately. But when you do this, be sure you know the process. Now, pag nakapasok na yan sa bangko, you know, and your seller will say, you know what, saluhin mo na lang. Saluhin mo na yung monthly amortization. Huwag na natin muna ilipat sa pangalan mo ang loan. Huwag natin muna ilipat sa pangalan mo ang property. No? That's very dangerous. Because if something happens to the original owner, you know, the bank does not know you even exist and the bank will not protect you. Ang kausap lang niya is yung kanyang borrower and you're not the borrower. If the property is really good and you want to keep it, then you have to go to the bank and reapply for the loan to be able to take him out from the property purchase process. No? So, kailangan nilipat yung loan sa pangalan mo para malipat din yung titulo sa pangalan mo. I see the future. Choose the number. No? Okay. Are you familiar with rent to own? I have some broker friends who sometimes have a hard time selling their property. And I always tell them, you know what, ang kailangan yung gawin dyan is taasan mo yung presyo mo. So he was trying to sell his property for 1.5, he would not move it. No? I told him, taas mo sa 2 million. Sabi niya, sir, paano ko naman gagawin yan? Eh, dito pala hindi ko na nga siya magbenta. No? Ito, Sita Italia. This was some years back. You know, I bought it for 540. Medyo bulok siya. I fixed it up. When we do purchase kasi a house, ang ginagawa namin, we make labakara na bahay. We just clean it up. Kung basag yung tiles, binabasag namin ng toto. Kung sira ng inodoro, we take out the inodoro, we just cover the hole. No? And we have it afterwards appraised. Yun ang importante. Ina-appraise namin. So the market value at the time was 2 million. Now I think it's already 6 or 7 million in that area. No? Yeah. So that's the property. Okay. That's the house now, no? After the buyer came in, no? I did not choose the colors. No? That's a disclaimer ko yan. No? We sold it at 1,750,000. And it went right away. Why? Because the buyer, all had to think about was 10, 10, 10. 10% down payment, 10 years to pay, and 10% interest. That is my formula for the rent to own. So I have 1,750,000 house that I want to buy. I have 175,000. I give that as down. Affordable yan. 10 years to pay, I only have to give my buyer, Mr. Alleje, I have to give him now 120 post-dated checks. Mahawak ko. You cannot move in if you do not have your 120 post-dated check. Yun ang rule ko. Third rule is you have to sign my rent-to-own agreement. Rule number 4, you have to be my friend in Facebook. So, yun. Why friend in Facebook? Kasi, pagka kunyari, friend tayo ni Cecil sa Facebook, ang gagawin ko, I will choose 30 of your friends to be my friends. Obviously, when they see kasi kaibigan ko, common friend, they will accept my friend request. One day, when you're gone, you're not paying me, you disappeared, I will message you in Facebook and say, hi, I cannot seem to find you. Yun lang, you know. And I've seen people, who did this in Facebook and, very happy, that they came across. Right the next day, they're looking for us, running after us. So documents namin is rent-to-own contract and a monthly amortization sa kontrata is 20,000. At that time, rental here was only, I think, 10 or 11,000. So your monthly amortization of your rent-to-own agreement has to be higher than a common rental. Now, ang agreement mo dito, rental. Kaya, ang maganda rito deal na to, wala siyang SEDA law. Kasi it's a rent agreement. No? With the privilege to buy the property on the 10th year for 1 peso. As long as he religiously pays. Remember the word, religiously pays. So if you're not paying all the time, you can tell him, no? Okay, you are now habitually being late. I may have to revoke your privilege. Now he's stuck with a higher amortization than just a common rental. Eventually, he will have to leave the property. So, what happened here, no? Ang maganda dito is, ang kinita mo sa rental agreement, andun na, no? So, dati, 500,000 lang to, 540, parang gusto mo ng 600, minus 1,750,000, kumita ka ng 1,100,000. Tapos yan, sa interest earned, not including your principal, you already make interest of 922,000. Now you tell me, where can you find a rate of return of 10% on an asset that is so secured? Kasi hawak ko pa yung titulo, sa pangalan mo pa, until 10 years from now. It is rent to own. When you cannot sell your asset, look for a creative way to engage. Happiness is foreclosure. Yeah, it's a passion I have. Every time I go out of town, mahilig ako mag-out of town, mga provincial trips. I go explore places. I go there on a Friday morning. So what I do in the morning, I go first to a rural bank. I go check out the rural bank and I look for their listings of properties. Normally, pag rural bank ka bumibili, kunwari, I went to the rural bank of Bantayan Island. I went there, so siguro 3/4 of the properties that were listed there are from Bantayan Island. So, very local. Tapos yan, the next day, I go out, I make pasyal, but kasama sa pasyal ay tripping. So, I go inspect the properties also. So, this was my excitement. Because I was looking at, if you can see that, that is Kinatarkan Island. Yung Kinatarkan Island was actually an island that was videoed and pinalabas siya sa YouTube ni Gina Lopez. So you look for it, it's Kinatarkan, K-I-N-A. I used to spell it Kinatarkan Island. So on the first time I went here, I violated all my rules. I went there, I did not see the property. I only saw the list. Kasi malayo, I didn't have enough time. So the next time I went, I did not ask too many people. So I went to Santa Fe Island, which was the island where I saw the bank. And from Santa Fe Island to Kinatarkan was another 3 hours or 4 hours by bangka. And then coming back was another 4 to 5 hours by bangka. And we were passing to the open seas, talagang waves and everything. It was so hot kasi yung bangka namin na maliit, walang atip. Yung bunbunan ko na sunburn. Yeah. I was so exhausted and I was so tired. The next trip I went, this time nagtanong na ako. Funny to say that from Cebu City, it took me 1.5 hours to get to a certain port. And when I got to the port, I asked, nasaan ba yung Kinatarkan Island? Ganong kalayo? And the bankero says, Manong, languyin mo na lang, andun na sa tapat mo. So that's how close it was, So I was so excited because I said, like, look, it's so near me. There. It's the rocky side. I'm not on the beach side because these islands have small beach. No? Remember, Cebu is not a beach place. ano to, rocky place talaga yan. Yung Mactan, di ba? Yung lugar ng Mactan. Ano yan, puro fake sand din eh. Ini-import nila yan. No? Kaya yung mga beach yan, lahat naka-cove. Dahil, no? So, gising ka. Okay, so this is not the place. We're just going behind pa this one. Every step I would make here, I would step on seaweeds. So I would just go, put my hand in the ground. I would start eating the seaweeds. And every step I would find, reddish, violet, blue, green. Ang daming kulay dyan ng starfish. Aside from having to tie my children and my grandchildren,
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, there.
Okay, wait, how
Oh,
do I
there.
take this out?
The
Oh, there
beach?
you are.
Ganda.
Okay, so there.
Ganda ng
Did you see the arrival kanina, no?
No, we did not.
No. This is the only time we saw your video.
There.
Okay.
This one, you saw kanina.
Yeah, we saw the kanina.
Okay, so that's the island. Okay. This is the approach of the island, no, to the property. No? Yeah, this is the house. And the water, pagka low tide, ganyan lang yan. 1 inch lang, no?
Where is it located, sir?
It's in Bantayan, the Bantayan group. No?
Bantayan.
O sa Cebu.
Oh.
Ano siya, very North Cebu to. So North Cebu. There, that's the living room, no? And the dining areas here. No? That's the entrance to the house. Yeah, dito, diba? You can look out here into the sea. And this is the breakfast nook where I see you arriving in your jet skis. So can you imagine the house, huh? What it's going to look like? Buti hindi ko nga tinapos yung bahay kasi what you see is what I got. Okay? I did not add a single centavo to it. Buti hindi ko nga tinapos kasi binagyo. All my neighbors have now bagong bubong. Kasi, di ba, the government gave them GI sheets. And that's the house. Huh? So, meron ng ganyan na hagdanan. See, the water goes until here. No? So, when it's this high, you can bring your boat from there, bring it here, and park it here. But during low tide, you have to keep the boat. We plan to put a swimming pool here. The swimming pool that when high tide, the water gets full, it refills it, it cleans it. Pag low tide, may swimming pool kami. May swimming area kami. And I got this only for 75,000 pesos. Yeah. Because I'm makulit. I go to all these small banks, you look at their listing. Sometimes they see me coming in, I'm in my trunks and sleeveless shirt and chinelas, and they're all looking like that. And what's this guy looking for, And happy to say, we're able to find some gems there. But there was one rural bank that was so funny. I found Ayala Alabang house. I didn't buy it though. So, foreclosure investing is a passion that builds your wealth and happy life. And then, once you start investing, it's very hard to stop. And for people who have started investing, don't stop. The famous book of the richest man in Babylon will always tell you, when you're investing as a grandfather, you pass it on to the father, who will pass it on to the son, who will pass it on to his son and to the son, You have to keep your capital, you have to keep turning it, plus the profit. It's the only way that you're going to build your financial wealth. Kasi pagka isang investment mo lang, bumili ka na ngayon ng isang condo, pinaupa mo, meron ka ng 15,000 naman, you're making maybe a 6% spread now, which is the spread today, if you buy a new one. So what do you get? Every year, you only get 6%. But if you start investing again next year for another property, and next year another property, so you can come up with a life plan of your investing. Let's say like based on gusto ko every 6 months nakakabili ako Yung iba kasi bibili sila 5 units kaagad in one shot, di ba? Tapos hirap na hirap magbayad ng monthly amortization kasi tumatambak. Tapos ito na yung ano niya, yung bank takeout period, di ba? Kailangan bank financing na. How can you get financing for 5 units? Kailangan papakita mo sa bangko na kayang-kaya mong bayaran. At sabi mo, may rental yan. Kailangan rental mo 5 years or 10 years, lock in. Yung naman lock in ng rental mo. So, keep investing, keep pushing. This is the SMS, Viber, WhatsApp, no? For my next seminar, no? Maybe you can take a picture of it. Kasi it's supposed to be the slide after. Yeah, no? So the seminar I'm having on Friday, no? Thursday, May 14, no? At 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. No? It's going to be in a webinar. It's fake videos in foreclosures. This is I call my ultimate, foreclosure seminar. This is where I really teach you step by step, the whole thing, no? Extrajudicial foreclosure auctions, public auctions, realty tax auctions. That's really, really nice. Bank auctions, the process, how to buy, how to rent to own, all these things. Marami akong examples dyan na hindi nyo pa nakikita or you're not really seeing it. So, you go to this number, no? And you can message and just say, I'm interested in making millions in foreclosures, and they'll be sending you the information. So please take a look at it. Siyempre may konting plug. Property is prosperity. These are my contact details, Yeah. That's my Viber. My elsubastahero@yahoo.com. So my staff who picks that up. Sometimes I do too. If you want personal, it's the Viber mobile. I don't use this right now during the pandemic. No? My YouTube channel is the Property Forum. I have so much learning materials there. And my Facebook page, I hope you do take time to like it. It's called El Subastahero. So thank you so much for inviting me, QCRB. And maybe a moderator can ask me the questions or you can live the mic of who wants to ask a question. Thank you.
On a foreclosed properties, you buy it from a bank, what terms do they give?
Okay. Ang bangko iba-iba, no? Am I supposed to go to the waiting room? No. Okay. Sila bangko ngayon, iba-iba, no? Merong bank na kailangan cash out. So you put a down payment and then they give you time to pay for the full payment. Okay? Short term lang yan. Merong 1 year, 5 years, in-house sila ng 7 years. No? For example, UCPB has 15 years in-house financing, 10% down, 10 years to pay at 10% interest. 10 sila. Yung iba naman, 10% down, pero you cannot take possession.
Hindi ko rin alam. Yung nakikita ko na lang kasi sa comments na parang
Okay.
I think someone's mic's open. Okay. From Jodith Santos, please share your experience on a 1-year redemption. Am I supposed to go in the waiting room? Does everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yes.
Kasi I see something coming out waiting room. Baka may merienda kasi doon sa waiting room.
Read na lang, beauty.
Virtual.
Yeah.
Please read the questions for Sir Noli, please.
Okay.
Beauties. Sige, ako na lang. Sir Noli, do you have an idea on how to invest in apartments and fish funds?
Okay. Ang fish pond, ang experience ko sa fish pond was kinda, I would say, hindi ko ginamit to. It's a Mr. Afterthought who told me afterwards what I should have done. I actually acquired a 36-hectare property in Rojas City, Ponta Vedra. When I looked at Ponta Vedra in the Google map, puro dagat, puro water. Pero meron akong hawak na titulo. Only to find out that all the property there talaga is titled. So, imagine that was 32, 36, no? But because of accretion, ang nabigay na sa akin ay 52 hectares na. And I sold it yata only for 2 million or 2.5 million lang. But at that time kasi, it was talagang damaged na siya. It was full of tanim. I forgot the name of that plant, di ba? That's supposed to be good for seawater and brackish water. No? And I just sold it for mura. Hulugan pa, paiyakan pa. Because the one who bought it from me was an OFW from Italy, and that was like 7 years ago. No? And the thing there was, kung hindi sila nakabayad, ipapadala sila isang banyera ng crabs to me, no? So yun ang kanyang peace offering. Only to find out afterwards, I got to think about it. What if I had subdivided that 50 hectares into 1 hectare plots? Yung puhunan ko dyan, yung mga staka lang. Tapos yan, binigay ko dun sa mga tao sa bayan for them to put their own pilapils and to operate their fish ponds for free for 10 years. So after 10 years, I would have 50 hectares of productive. The last time I checked was 1 million pesos yata for a productive hectare. So what I sold for 2 million had actually a potential to become 50 million. So ganun ka, no? Yung sa apartment naman, siguraduhin mo lang meron may job migration. No? Kasi yun ang importante. I've seen that in the provinces, di ba? You're driving in the road, in the outskirts of that, puro agriculture. Biglang may apartments. Normally, OFW may-ari din. No? Wala naman sa tenant sa loob. Pag walang tenant, eventually, doon ka mag-anak sa loob. Eventually, wala na. Hindi na siya investment. Tinirahan na.
Okay, another question, Sir Noli.
Okay.
This is from, I think this is Joel Halimao. Hi, Sir Noel. Any advice on the 1-year redemption period?
Okay. Yung 1 year kasi, there are some banks actually who sell the property within the redemption period. Papakita nila yung property sa kalagay under redemption. Me, normally what I do is I try to get it if I really, really like the property under redemption. And I tell the bank, ito yung payment, di ba? For the property. Pag na-redeem ng former owner, you return to me my capital, interest-free. Okay, just return it back. But if matuloy ang foreclosure mo, sa akin na yan. Ako ang bibili niyan. So nakapila na ako. So that's what I do for properties within the redemption period. The other thing you can do naman within the redemption period is you look for the former owner. At saka timplahan mo yung kanyang need for money. Kasi baka you can buy the redemption period from him. He can issue a waiver of redemption. And pwede mo na bilhin ka agad.
Okay, thank you po. Another question is from Sir John Dale. Sir John Dale. Senior Noli.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joy.
Sige.
Thank you, Senior Noli, for sharing your knowledge, experience, and competence to us. My question is, when do you think will the banks start to sell foreclosed assets due to the ECQ?
I would say a year. Kasi may proseso pa yan magpo-foreclose pa sila So, you have maybe 90-day period for them to start negotiating, for the, siyempre kailangan may konting puso The banks will be scared to foreclose right away because they don't like to have bad publicity. Bank letter A, yung mga sinipa kami kaagad, tinrecourse kagad yung bahay namin, wala silang puso. Banks don't like that, they like to be loved by the depositors. So I would say a year before they start selling this listahan. What they have to do maybe now is to be able to sell the listings that they already have now. That's a lot. Yun.
Okay, na Sir John. Okay. Another request here is asking for a copy of rent-to-own contract that you use.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Actually, it's proprietary, Actually, you know what? To tell you the truth, it's just a simple rental contract, And there's only a portion there that says, if you are religiously paying your monthly amortizations and your monthly payments, then you have the privilege to acquire your property for 1 peso on this certain thing. Parang ganun lang siya, Mistisuhin siya ng konti. Konting disclaimer lang, Kasi I saw this happen before eh. Naalala niyo yung I'm sorry, invest to build or buy to build. No? This was done by a architect in the BGC area. You actually come in, pre-selling pa lang, papasok ka, magbabayad ka in full, so para kang may-ari na rin ng lupa. So ang point ng construction company was, you're already a owner of the company and we are now giving you a title. You know? So hindi na pwede yung dadaan pa sa developer. So from the joint venture, the development, from the TCT, pag meron na siyang CCT, diretso na sa pangalan ni Joy, pangalan ni Mike, diretso na siya. So, first round, okay. Wala sinabi ang BIR. Second round, sabi ng BIR, sandali lang, parang may nahahalata ako. Third round, talagang medyo sabi ng BIR, medyo obvious ka na yata, no? And then the fourth round, they came up with the ruling. The developer had to pay all the way to the back. So he had to pay his taxes from building 1 up to building 4. So hindi sila pumayag sa that kind of contract. But I think recently I came across a ruling by the Supreme Court or other which court that overturned it na sinabi na legal na naman yun. No? So what I'm telling you now, yung rent to own or rent to buy today no, is accepted. Dati maganda nga yung rent to own sa rent to buy because gagamit ka ng daral. Nalala yung daral, yung deed of assignment of rights and assumption of liabilities. Wala ka nang babayaran na tax. So when you do a rent to own like this, you know, and you start selling it, parang yung iba sinasabi sa rin, saan yung babayaran mo na tax? Which incidentally, I forgot to mention, no? All my rent to own contracts are tax-free. In other words, all taxes are burdened on the buyer. That's it, Joy.
Okay, sir. Question from the Tan family, Elisa, Carol, and John. Hi, Sir Noli. What are the fees involved in foreclosed properties?
What do you mean by the fees? Yung
Fees and
babayaran mo? Okay. If your foreclosed property, if you're buying a foreclosed property, no, I would think, no? So if you're buying foreclosed property, it's just the same. Depende rin sa usapan nyo ng bangko, no? Some banks would say, as is where is, sagot mo lahat. No? Pati yung mga utang ng Meralco, utang ng tubig. No? Some banks, hindi, malinis, di ba? You're only buying the property, not the debts of the property. Same capital, you know, tax is paid by them up to the price that they receive. Yun ang importante pakinggan nyo. No? Kasi, you know, the property is worth 5 million, but the zonal is 7. No? You will pay for the zonal tax from 5 million to 7 million. The bank will pay for the capital gains tax and the VAT from 1 million to 5 million, from 1 peso to 5 million. So yung excess no, nung tinanggap yung pera, sagot mo yung tax na yun. So it's still the same taxes. No? Now what is the difference of tax is if you buy from the public auction, kailangan magbayad ka talaga ng mga tax aside from paying all the other taxes. Kasi remember, sa realty tax auction, sagot mo lahat. No? Hindi sagot ng buyer, anong seller. Kasi wala lang seller. No? So, sagot mo lahat yan. So, 12%. Practically, you pay for 12%. Yung tax na yun. By the way, tariff fee pa sa namin, judge fee. Marami mga small fees pa yan.
Opo. Sige. This is a question from President of PRB, Pasig Board. Hi, Sir Jojo Faren. Question is, on the average, how long does it take you to recover your investment if you are on a buy, renovate, sell basis?
Wala 1 year yan. Depends on how aggressive you are. Buy, renovate. At the start kasi when I was doing buy, renovate, kumukuha ako ng foreman. Tapos ako mismo gumagawa. Typical Pinoy. Gusto mo, ikaw gawa, no? So, at came to one point it was not worth it, eh, no? You have to keep going there, you know? For example, like one project, I live in Antipolo, I go all the way down to Santa Rosa. So I go Sunday, and I tell the workers, kompleto na ba materials nyo for the week? Opo. May buhangin na kayo? Opo. May semento na kayo? Opo. May araw na sa opo. Pag Wednesday, natawag sila sa akin, sir, wala na kami semento. So, baba ka na naman, di ba? Now, do you know if he stole the cement? Do you know that he put the cement inside or tinartilya nila palabas, di ba? So, hindi mo alam. So, may mga cost overruns ka. So, the best thing to do is to get a contractor. And you tell the contractor, ito yung presyo mo. So, agad dyan lang tayo. And what happens now is, ito yung presyo mo, ito yung time mo, deliver mo. So, meron kang kausap na fixed time and everything. Hindi siya abot ng 6 months. Pati yung mga walang bubong sa akin, walang 6 months yan.
Okay. Next question is from Fredencio Jack Akailar, Vice President of Dipolog and the PITAN Board. Hello, Sir Noli. Paano ang proseso ng pag-buy ng foreclosed property from the start till end?
Okay, baka kulangin tayo ng oras, kaibigan, from Dipolog. You know what? You join my seminar on May 14. Okay, you saw the number kanina, no? 0910-790-0000. Limang zero yan, no? I will explain to them the process of the buying. No? But to just cut it short, punta ka na ng bangko, sabi mo, bibili ka ng foreclosed property, tignan mo yung listahan, you start with geographical area, then you, importante, you visit all the properties that you want to buy. By the way, nag-swimming na ako dyan sa Dipolog.
Okay. Yun lang po, Sir Noli. Those were the questions that were raised. Can I call on Mike? Mike Avarianos for the...
Mike,
yeah.
excuse me,
Yes,
Joy.
yes,
I
Vicky, yes,
have
yes.
a question of my own.
Okay.
Actually, sir, sorry I got disconnected earlier, and
No problem.
it took a while to get back, so I wasn't able to ask the questions.
Okay.
Sir, among all your various strategies, your flipping, leasing, and etc., and across all the options on the financial side, like the terms of payment and all, and the risks involved, which can you say are your top 3, in terms of, what will make your time and your effort worth it? Like, if you will be limited to just choose 3, alin na lang yung pipiliin yung pasukin, dropping the rest?
Okay. Recently, we acquired actually, the second time I buy a completed subdivision that was foreclosed. So, all fighters were subdivided, may license to sell na yon, so pwede ko lang i-transfer sa akin. May development permit na yan, no? So, may roads, may kuryente, may tubig, it had 500 subdivided lots. So, a project like that, I'll jump out and just, focus on it. The other one would be a bullock building. Yung bullock building would be a property that I would like to acquire and just hold. And when I have the time, I would like to take a look at it, do things with it. And the other one would be house and lot. Kasi yung value ng house and lot at saka yung speed of renovating and flipping is there. Contrary to a vacant lot. Tagal ng vacant lot. Saka, ang increase ng vacant lot, konti lang kasi you don't really add value. Only when we become titans of our industry by adding value, we really become a good contribution to our capital also, to our profit also. So those 3.
I see. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, sir.
Okay.
Very meaty answer. There's another question from Mom Marlo, but I cannot see it here anymore. Mom Marlo, would you like to ask your question? I cannot see in the chat history anymore because I got disconnected. Si Mom Marlo.
Okay, can I ask?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes. When you flip a property, how much should you add in percentage, considering that you have paid doc stamp when you bought, no? When you bought it, doc stamp, transfer registration, and then now that you're selling, you have to pay the capital gains and a commission. About how many % do you add to make it worth the trouble? of
Okay,
buying it and flipping it?
flipping it. 100%. Kasi if you don't do 100%,
You have to double your money.
you have to double your money. Kasi that gives you enough leeway, no? For time essence, di mo mabenta, tinabi mo na muna. I had one house, tapos na, pinasukan ng tao, binandalize yung loob, so I had to repaint the whole house. May mga unforeseen events. But if you're doing times 2 of your value on your market, no? So kunwari, I bought the house for 1.2, I spent 400,000, so 1.6. So I'm looking at selling the house for 3.2. Then I make that broker's fee, That gives me enough cushion already.
So if you're flipping, you're considering should be half the value of the property.
At the market price, yes.
Of the market, yes.
Oh, kasi pag manipis lang, pag 30% lang, pa-rental mo na lang yan.
All right. Okay. Also, another question. When you said subastahero, I thought you were something like making a subasta for properties. Like there's an indicative, a low price, and then everybody starts bidding. Is that the subastahero? Is it a bidding thing?
Yes. That happened in 2003 and 2004, no? During that period of time, we would sell per auction 300 million. Our highest was 499 million in one auction. No? So yun ang mga binibenta namin dati sa auction. And we would have like 100 properties or 200 properties, which was all exclusive to me, no? By the bank. And we would advertise it, and people would visit the properties. And on auction day, they will all show up. And they would show money of 25,000. There was no what you call market segmentation, A, B, C, D, E ka man, di ba? Everybody going to the same auction, going in tricycle, going in splashy cars, bidding for a 40,000 peso property in Baluyboy, Quezon, to 160 million peso property in Binondo building, up to 180 million warehouse in Pasig area, no? So ganun ka, no? We would pack the room, with auctions. So that's why I called El Subastahero, no? Which, by the way, it's a legend in my own mind. I only called myself El Subastahero. Eventually, people called me El Subastahero.
All right. So you don't do it anymore?
I think I will be doing that coming maybe a year or 2 years from now, because the banks will have to look again for a professional auctioneer to start doing it.
Okay. Thank you.
Auction.
Okay. Okay, nawala si Joy. I only see her garden. Merienda na. Nasa waiting room na yon.
I'm here. Okay, yeah. So that's a very nice presentation, Sir Noli. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us. This is my third time listening to you, and every time you never fail to hook up the audience with your very informative presentations. But unfortunately, we've come to the end of your presentation, and so with that, I will turn you over, guys, to is it you, Joy, or Mike?
To Mike for
we're awarding.
To President Dino for the
President Dino.
Yeah, for the certificate. Thank you.
We're
Thank you
awarding
so much.
the certificate for Sir Noli. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, sir.
Well, actually, thank you very much, Sir Noli. You are my idol. Yes, actually, I got 2 properties from your auctions through the years. No, one is an office condo in Ortigas along ADB Avenue, and the other one is Manila Southwoods. So that's where I got your through the auctions. The proceeds of the how did I was able to have that by yung before kasi there's a double your money given by selected banks. So the proceeds of that, ito yung pinabili ko ng office space and the lot. So that is why yun. And well, anyway, Sir Noli, I would like to the Pareb Quezon City Real Estate Board Incorporated presents the certificate of appreciation to Manuel Noli Alleje in grateful and sincere appreciation for sharing his valuable knowledge and expertise on how to invest in foreclosed properties. As our guest speaker during our Pareb Quezon City Real Estate Board MLS Online, presented this 12th day of May 2020 via Zoom meeting. Signed Fernando B. Castro. Thank you, Sir Noli.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ay, ito, papalalamove na lang. Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will leave the meeting now so you can continue with your MLS. No? Okay. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
God bless.
God bless everyone.
Be safe.
Thank you, Sir Noli.
Be
We hope to
safe.
encounter you again, sir.
And once the virus is gone, we will all have a
Oh,
meeting.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the virus.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Very inspiring.
Okay.